Welcome back to the channel today. We've got the G Force Genova on the channel. Lots to talk about with this one. I've waited to do a video on the channel until we've got it all finished. Lots of upgrades, so stick around and enjoy the video. And if you are new here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Your support is very much appreciated. Welcome back to the channel today. Adam from RC Action Australia, and as you can see here, we have got the G Force Genova. Now, I've done a few YouTube Shorts videos on this car, but this is the first time we've actually got it on the channel. And in today's video, I just wanted to show you basically what I've created, the option parts that I've put on the car, and yeah, just basically do an overview of the car and sort of give you my honest opinion of the buggy. There's a lot of, there's a lot of videos and whatnot out there. So yeah, just wanted to give you my honest opinion of the car. So let's take a dive into the G Force Genova and let's have a look at what we've got. So as you can see, we haven't gone box art with this one. I was Googling online and talking to my friend over in Western Australia, Brad, who runs the Facebook Tamiya Vintage Australia page. Basically, this does look like a copy of a Team Associated RC car, and it's basically like a plastic version. So, given that, Masami is inspired with this, he was a Team Associated driver, had some fairly fancy paint jobs back in the day with the bright colours. So I kind of got Googling, and from chatting with Brad there, I kind of decided on this metallic green paint, and I got some MCI Racing decals, the Team Associated decals, and just sort of used these sort of rainbowy, colourful decals off the front, and sort of matched the Masami Team Associated team car. Don't know much about Team Associated or Masami myself personally, but I just figured that it works on the body because the body is very, very similar to a Team Associated body, and the decals that you could have put on that. Now, I think it's come out quite nice. I didn't go full Team Associated. I still wanted the Genova and the G-Force aspect to it as well. So you let me know what you think down in the comments below. Does it look better than box art? Has anyone else out there done something custom? I have seen some other ones online where people have done, some other Team Associated inspired designs as well. So I definitely think that this is a fun car to play around with, and sort of, your take on the Masami aspect of this car. Before we dive into some of those upgrades that I've done on the G Force Genova, I just wanted to sort of take some time to thank everyone out there for supporting the channel. We've seen some good growth in the last couple of weeks. And obviously, if you do enjoy those shorts videos that I have been putting up, let me know what you think about those. And obviously, I have been working to create a little bit better backdrop here as well. When I originally did the backdrop, it goes all the way to the ceiling. I have very high ceilings, so you literally cannot see half the cars on display. So I've added another couple of rows down here. So obviously we've got a little bit more of a backdrop, and I have added a section over here where we can display some box art as well. So yeah, a few things happening here, and as always, thanks for everyone's support. If you are new here, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. So let's go back to the Genova and look at all the upgrades that I have done on this buggy. So initially, when I did set this car up, I didn't really have any fancy motors or electronics. So I initially set it up with just a silver can motor and a Hobbywing 1060. And I was actually quite surprised on how well this car did drive. So you could set this up as like a silver can entry-level race buggy, and obviously a 2S lipo, and it was definitely a nice buggy to drive, more so probably on a smaller track. But yeah, definitely see the potential in this one, and the potential for you know, certain classes being available for people to use, sort of like a modern day version of a vintage buggy. And I guess that's what the whole idea behind this car has been. And you know, I really enjoyed you know, building it. It's quite a simple, easy build, so no troubles whatsoever. A lot is already built for you out of the box, and I think Genova's really hit it off the mark. You can do your own inspired look to this. You can do your own upgrades, and it's a basically a entry point price wise, and everything is, it caters for everyone, and it enables people, I guess, like myself, to go ahead and spend a little bit extra money on it and make it a little bit better buggy. So some of the things that I was waiting before we put it onto the channel, I ordered this 13.5 turn limited edition gold brushless combo, and you know, it's not too bad. It definitely looks nice in the car. The limited edition one, it's no different than the basic silver one or black one that you can buy from G Force, and I actually think it's just a rebadged Sky RC brushless combo, and I went for this one just because it is, you know, it's gold, it's a limited edition Masami version of it. I don't think that makes it any better, but for me it probably just looks a little bit better in the car. So I can recommend that. It does look good, and I'll show you in a second. The other thing too that I picked up, which I think is vital if you are going to put that brushless combo in it, or any of the other brushless combo, is this program box. Now you can test your LiPo batteries, you can test servos, and obviously you plug in your ESC, and obviously you can change a whole lot of parameters. Now out of the box, this one was quite difficult to set up. Japanese instructions, no English, so comes back to the fact that this car is really only made for the Japanese market, hence why you can't buy it elsewhere. So, and for anyone asking, I did buy this from Amazon Japan, a lot cheaper than anywhere else online. So I managed to find a little video online of how to program it, and once I worked it out, it actually wasn't too bad. Because it doesn't work out of the box, you need to program throttle and brake. So then back onto the program box here, I then went in and dialed down the initial acceleration. I did just take this for a little bit of a spin. It's pouring down rain, so yeah, I did want to put some run footage in this video, but you know, it's awful outside, so we'll get a run video in the future. So the program box, highly recommended. I think this was about $20-something, and it's absolutely amazing the parameters that you can change on this ESC. Now, I do have some hobby wing combos and program boxes, and I probably think that I could change more on this ESC than I could have on some of the hobby wings that I've played with. So, yeah. The other thing is, you know, the gold motor and everything in the back looks quite nice. And we'll go on to some other upgrades that I did as well in a second. So let's pull the top off the buggy and have a look at what it looks like inside. Now I did also tidy up some wiring. Just take the lid off here. So as you can see, there's the body there, and we just backed it with the black. Now the other thing too, that the first time I've ever actually done this myself personally, is before I took the window masks off, I cut just like a 3mm section of them out around the edge, and then backed obviously when I did the black, and it's given me a nice crisp sort of painted window line edge. So that's the first time I've ever done that. I know a lot of buggies, there's like decals that go around, but sometimes they can lift off. So that's an idea out there that anyone else can use. It gives you a really nice finish. So on to the buggy. As you can see, the brushless combo just fits in there quite nicely, and it gives you the options to sort of hide the wiring. I've went for a low profile servo as well, just a cheap SPT. Now I do have some Savox servos, but I really can't go past this one at the moment, and I use them in a lot of my cars. So the other thing too that I did was I shortened some wires for the servo and whatnot, and it's the first time I've actually used this sort of black braiding on some of the wiring as well. I don't think it does anything at all. It just makes it look a bit tidier as well, I guess. Now, for anyone who is, obviously if you mount your speed controller on the left-hand side of the buggy, you will notice that you'll have to run the signal wire to the receiver from somewhere. Now, I actually ran it underneath the Velcro strap, and there was enough room to run that underneath the Velcro strap and then feed the Velcro strap back in. That way it just neatens up the wiring and you don't have it hanging over the top of the buggy and over the battery, and it just probably makes it a little bit easier getting the battery in and out. So that's a little bit of a tip out there if you did want to locate your ESC somewhere differently, or you can just locate it on the top of the buggy here. Now, the other thing that you'll probably notice that I have changed on this car is the shocks. Now, there is nothing really wrong with the factory shocks at all. I just sort of felt they were a little bit long and a little bit soft. They weren't, from memory, I don't think they had like the bladder section at the top, and I did actually find it very, very difficult to get equal sort of oil pressure across all four corners of the car. So I had these Racing big bore shocks laying around here. So I fitted them up, and they look really, really good on the car, I think. They sort of suit the color combos, they fit in nicely, and with the adjustable collars do offer a little bit better adjustability on the car while you're driving. And the other thing too is I found the factory shocks on the G Force a little bit too long. So these are 70mm and 90mm. It does lower the car probably about 10mm. So if you do plan on using this one for some off-road bashing and whatnot, the factory longer shocks may be better for you. But for me, more so do some on-road driving. So having that little bit lower to the ground, and obviously these shocks do feel exceptionally better compared to the factory ones. Still lots of dampening and obviously just that little bit lower. So the last thing that I did to the G Force Genova was I did change the gear ratio slightly. Now, the factory pinion gear is a 23 pinion, tooth pinion from memory, and I actually just didn't like the look of it. It looked a little bit cheap, so I upgraded it to a 26 tooth pinion. And I did find a gearing chart, so it does bring the gearing down a little bit more to sort of your normal two-wheel drive off-road buggy gearing. Now, talking of gearing, the beauty of the program box also was you can actually dial in the diameter of the tyres you're using and the final gear ratio that you're running, and it obviously helps probably with power delivery and obviously temperatures and whatnot as well. So I found that a nice aspect of the program box, that you could really dial in the setup of the car that you have. So that was another nice feature. Well, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at my take on the G Force Genova, and obviously hopefully you like the color scheme, and hopefully I've given you a little bit of insight into some of the upgrades that you can do on the G Force Genova. And I think all up, the shocks are around about $70. I already had those though. The brushless combo was Amazon Japan. I think it was around about 100, just over 100. They were on sale, and then they all sold out. And the car itself was around about 270 Australian dollars. So all in all, out of the box for 270, throw some basic electronics, you've got a fantastic buggy, or you can take it that little step higher and spend a little bit more on it and really, really transform this buggy. Now, I cannot wait to get this one out to run. I think it's going to be an awesome car to drive. And like I said before, it does really remind me of those vintage Team Associated kits, and obviously some of the older Traxxas Bandit style kits as well. So that's it for today. As always, hit like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And obviously you can catch me on over some of these other videos that are starting to appear around me. So until the next video, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.